I just wanna like explain this hopeless situation of like being in a suburb like, Kings Park or Blacktown, and like having vertigo. It's like it's silly. Um, I rang doctors. They don't do call outs. Like none of them do call. So there I was panicking in bed, freaking out. Well, I've got to have my eyes closed and just like lay in bed for hours, feeling ill, feeling like I'm gonna vomit every second of like for 4 hours, and sort of get to the point where I rang someone and they're like, dude, you can't get a doctor, get an ambulance. So yeah, I ring triple O, I ring an ambulance, and there's like I'm waiting like for hours, and because by then I wasn't panicking, and like I didn't really have a panic attack anymore. It was slight. I was starting to panic at times, but all that just went. And I'm trying to get an ambulance, and I get calls saying, "Oh, sorry, we had an ambulance scheduled, and it's had to go to another patient." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine, because there are people that are in real danger." And then by the end of the day, an ambulance officer, come out in a transit van and just sort of said, "Look, we don't have an ambulance for you. I'm sorry." And he took my blood pressure and took my glucose level, and he was going to leave. And I had to ask him, "Am I in any danger? Do I have vertigo?" And he sort of explained, "Oh, look, you probably do have vertigo, and it'll go away in a couple of days." And it was up to me. Do I want to cancel this ambulance? I'm thinking, yeah, I do. There are people out there that need an ambulance. There are people, distressed people, and they could be dying. They need an ambulance. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'll do the right thing. I'll cancel my taxi and my ambulance, and I'll ring a taxi. Oh my god, I forgot. If you ring a taxi and you want to go, 4 minutes up the road, they don't respond. They don't respond. Taxis do not respond to small trips. It's like they want the trips from the outer suburbs to the airport, and the airport back to like the outer suburbs. And so if I had to run a taxi, it probably wouldn't have come. It's just crazy. So I rang a taxi today, and I'm there for hours. It just didn't come. It didn't come. I ring up the taxi company, and sure enough, "Oh yeah, we've got your call, and it's slipped down the list, and it's gone. It's off the list. Nobody picked it up." And I'm thinking, great, So I think moving to Blacktown was a mistake. I'm living like a freaking serial loner. It's serious. I've been here for 6 months, and I've regretted every moment of it. And having vertigo, in a suburb out at Blacktown is like, it's the worst scenario ever. No ambulances. Even like the ambulance officer said, "We don't have any rooms for you, or you'd be sitting in the emergency hall, whatever it is, reception, for a day, because like there are that many emergencies at the moment." So yeah, it's just been a huge experience. I was scared. I was horrified when when I first felt dizzy. I wasn't too bad, and then I was gonna be so ill, and I rushed to bed, and I closed my eyes, and I was there for like 4 hours, just on the verge of vomiting, constantly every minute. It brings on a panic attack, and it's similar to drowning. If if you don't keep control of your senses and just tell yourself, oh yeah, I'm safe, I'm in my house, it's just a visual problem, you know, don't panic. I think if I was to go into a full panic at that time, I probably would have, you know, I've got a phobia of vomiting as well. I think I would have vomited, I would have freaked myself out, and it would have been a disaster. I wouldn't have died, but, you know, the more I think about it, just the more, shocking, really shocking. I mean, vertigo itself isn't too bad, but if you get to the point where you get to that point where you're vomiting and your visual is just everywhere and you lose your sense of reality, you can feel the panic attack strangling you. It's like drowning, you know. And I know I wouldn't have got an ambulance. I wouldn't have been able to ring a taxi. I wouldn't have got a taxi. And, you know, it's just a terrible situation. Yeah, I've got to get out of Blacktown, seriously. Oh my God, I've got to get out of Kings Park. It's just like, bye, goodbye, goodbye Kings Park. It's been fun. You know, I've enjoyed myself here, but it's not the life I want. So, yeah, it's time to move on.